Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat, where we break down the top 10 films within the United Kingdom's box office. This Stevens for the weekend, December 7th to 9, 2018. As I say every week, by the very nature of this show, we're always a week behind. So what have we got at number one this week? It's a familiar face.
Yeah, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and second week, John, grossing 2.4 million over the weekend. Overall 7.4 million now. Just before I let you in, because I know that you've went to see this film, I was obviously out of action last week, not well with the cold, but what's your thoughts on this movie, John?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. It was different to the first film, but in many ways similar, because you're getting the same characters coming back, the likes of Vanellope, played by Sarah Silverman, Ralph, played by John C. Reilly. I liked the premise to the story. Was it a little bit predictable? I think it was a little bit predictable, but it was great, and it had that element I do enjoy in the animated films, which I say is time and again you have to do, and it brings in a wide scale of demographics. You're not just focusing this film like children. You've got that kind of a satirical theme getting explored underneath the dangers of the internet. Literally, you visually see it when they go in, when Ralph and Vanellope go into the internet, sort of a realm, this virtual realm, in the search for a steering wheel, because Vanellope's her arcade game gets destroyed by a young girl. Ralph creates a new track for her to go off and give her a bit of excitement. She's getting bored. He's worried that his best friend is going to become depressed and maybe do something stupid and leave him on his own. He's a very insecure guy, is Ralph. So he creates a new track, causes the game to be damaged, and they then go off in search of trying to replace this wheel before the arcade game gets shut off and cleared away into the trash. So they go off into this world, this virtual reality internet world, and it's got a whole host of multicultural, multi-company national companies, likes of Google and Instagram, things like that. And explore that theme for the adults underneath, just the dangers of the internet and what it can do to you if you're not careful. That literally, you see the little avatars of people who are online, walking about like robots, mindlessly just doing whatever the hell they do on the internet. And it dives into that social media thing as well, the dangers of the negativity in the social media, in the comments and stuff. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a brilliant little film. It had great moments of humour. Sarah Silverman was fantastic as Vanellope. John C. Reilly's just a brilliant actor as well. He's got a dead distinctive voice. And I'm not surprised to see that it's once again top in the box office. It has dropped 39% this week, but 7.9 million or whatever the hell it's grossed this weekend is very impressive. It's total worldwide grossing $285 million now. It has got a production budget of $175 million, so it's well on its way to making a profit. And this was a much anticipated film, so it's great to see people going out and watching it.
Well, John, I was just going to touch on that. I think the days are gone of animated sequels just becoming, sent into oblivion and forgotten about. I think with the likes of Incredibles 2, it was much anticipated, a long overdue wait we had for that one. This one not as long, but when we knew this news was announced, we knew this was going to be a hit anyway, because the first one was such a iconic film, and the sheer look of it as well was very unique as well.
It's got very distinctive visuals,
and the cast in this one's phenomenal as well, as you mentioned, John. But just moving on to number 2 this week, and its fifth week now, is The Grinch. It's grossed another impressive 2 million over the weekend. Overall 19.8 million, just under 20 million in 5 weeks. It's very impressive, isn't it?
Very impressive indeed. It's very interesting, Stephen, to see that we have 2 animated films sitting at the top of the box office in this weekend. Worldwide performance as well, very impressive too. $372.6 million, just a $75 million production budget. That's an outstanding performance for obviously the Benedict Cumberbatch led film. I went to see this a couple of weeks ago. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just any other Grinch story we've seen. The classic animated cartoon, 30 minutes long I believe. I've never seen it. Obviously the Grinch That Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one from early 2000s, I believe it was 2001 or something.
Around about then.
Around about then. It's a similar story. It doesn't do anything really new, but it's introducing this character, this story, and a fresh take for a new generation of audience members who maybe don't know the story of the Grinch, the Dr. Seuss story. And I thought it was a great reinterpretation of this story. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was outstanding as the Grinch, him and his little dog. Visuals were cool, and it had some moments of humour, and also it just tells the classic story perfectly. So glad to see it's doing very well at the box office. It deserves it.
Ditto. I can't really add anything to that. I thought the visuals were absolutely amazing, John. I liked the visuals of it and the colours that were used. But we'll move on to number 3 this week, in its second week, grossing 1.7 million over the weekend. It's Creed 2, grossing overall 6 million. Both of us have been to see this movie, John. We know that one of our writers reviewed this as well. It's just a follow-up to Creed, the original movie that came out a few years ago. We spoke about pacing and tone last week. One of the things that I forgot to mention, John, was that scene in Adrian's with Rocky and Ivan. I think that was important, the way that Rocky handled that, because when it was announced, the plot of this movie, I did fear that this was going to kind of overshadow.
It was going to descend you, Rocky v Ivan again.
Yeah, and I worried about that for the sake of Adonis' story. Rocky cut that down with one line just by saying, wasn't this like a million years ago or something? I think I was paraphrasing here, but it was perfect. It was time to move on, stop reminiscing. Understood that the Drago family, after that fight in Rocky 4, his
wife left him.
Yeah, his wife left him.
Essentially ostracised from the upper echelons of Moscow society. So I mean, you could totally get on board. That's something I really enjoyed about the film. You could understand both Victor and Ivan Drago's perspective of the story. They weren't two-dimensional villains by any means, or antagonists. I don't like to call them villains. This is a boxing story. There's not really a villain in there.
Some might say that it was very two-dimensional in Rocky 4, but it was used by the government and in that film. But you're right. I think that in this they were more rounded characters.
And that's why I said last week, Stephen, I would not have any issues with Stephen Caple Jr. And maybe taking on the Clubber Lang character, because he's proven here, if indeed he comes back to doing it, it's not Ryan Coogler. He's proven that he can handle these sort of legacy characters within the Rocky extended franchise, and he can handle them well, bring them in a way that's organic and doesn't feel forced and you're cringing watching him. I liked the handling of Ivan. I liked his story, the way it obviously played out after Rocky 4, just the impact. He obviously held a grudge. He drummed it into his son from an early age right through, that he had to make up for it, set the tone there, the tone right, really avenge that loss. And that's what pulled the story on that side. I really liked Adonis, Creed's story as well. It was his own story. Rocky said at the end of the film, "This is your time now, kid," or something along those lines. I loved Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson in that film. I thought they played off each other brilliantly. You could really see the angst and the hurt and the fear and the emotion just surrounding the story with the kid.
Tessa Thompson, she's almost playing the Adrian character in this film, isn't she? And she does it so well.
That's what another thing, a final thing I would say, Stephen. I really enjoyed the quieter moments in this film, away from the training montages that were obviously famous in the Rocky films. They kind of blipped over the personal side of the story at times to get into the fighting and the training montages. Not so much in this. They gave the personal side of Adonis a lot of time to breathe, and it allowed you to bond to these characters more so when you got to that climactic finale. You genuinely cared for him, but I cared for him anyway because of the first film.
We'll just move on to number 4 this week. It's Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, and it's 4th week now. It's grossed another 1.5 million over the weekend, and a very much impressive 29.3 million overall in 4 weeks. That's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. I don't know how that measures up to previous Harry Potter franchise films, or indeed the previous Fantastic Beasts. I've not done my research here. I'm not a very good researcher, Stephen. Clearly I don't research for these shows, but look, that's a very impressive figure. £29.7 million after 4 or 5 weeks. Can't argue with that. Worldwide performance now sitting at $595.8 million. It's a production budget of $200 million. I've seen a lot of box office analysts over the last few months, the last month and a half, I should say, the last few weeks, panning it early doors, saying it was going to be a bit of a flop or a underperformer. But that's very decent. $600 million essentially. 6 weeks into its stint at the box office worldwide. It's more than made a profit. And for what the film was, Stephen, it was a sort of a connective film. It wasn't going to do anything outstanding. It took the familiar characters from the first Fantastic Beast that we'd grown to know and like, the likes of Jacob Kowalski, Newt Scamander, and then it introduced very similar characters. The likes of Dumbledore, played by Jude Law, the likes of Newt's brother, who was a bit of a git in it. Obviously it took Credence Barebones as well, played by Ezra Miller, and it really interspersed them with the characters we loved, and it connected the story up into this wider prequel universe, and we'll see better things.
Yeah, as you say, John, after we see the third, fourth and fifth films, you understand that this film's to sort of throw the dog a bone.
Yeah, exactly. It's to expand out these characters and lay the groundwork for the future films, where we will go into more of that relationship between Grindelwald and Dumbledore. We'll go into more of Credence Barebone's true identity. Is he the brother or the kind of a, I don't know, grandson, I don't know, niece, nephew? He's not a niece, nephew. Well, he does like to dress in very strange outfits and stuff on the red carpet, so he could be a niece, but he's not. Could have been a nephew, that was what they were saying. He could be the son of, obviously, Albus Dumbledore's sister, who was a tragic figure that lost her life in tragic circumstances, caused that split between Grindelwald and Dumbledore going forward, and the change in their different ideologies for the muggles and stuff like that. But look, it's a great... I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was big, it was bombastic in parts, it had a great opening sequence, liked the fight at the end, and it is what it is, it's a connected film, and I get enjoyment out of it.
I think, just looking at those figures, in 4 weeks, I think that's quite impressive considering some of the feedback the film has got, John.
Yeah, but mixed responses.
Yeah, we're going to move on anyway. This is a film that didn't get mixed responses, not so much anyway.
Yeah.
It's in its 7th week now. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. It grossed another 1 million over the weekend, 45 million overall in 7 weeks. We knew this was going to succeed at the box office. I didn't think it would succeed as much as it has, and it's only halfway in that chart at the moment, so it's going to
still got a while to go. It's got some legs,
Yeah,
there is some big releases coming out though, obviously not reflected in this week's box office chat, like of Aquaman, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and a couple of other big ones coming along, so it may drop down a little bit, but look, £44.9 million is outstanding. That's an outstanding performance, but as we have said on previous box office chat, Stephen, the musical sort of a genre tends to go over well with UK audiences. We've seen it with A Star Is Born, La La Land, whole host of other, The Great Showman. I still hear the songs from that in the charts to this day on adverts, so they do go over well. So I've said it time and again, if you can produce and put out a really good musical themed or genre film, then you will have success in the box office, certainly in the United Kingdom.
And certainly with Queen as well, John.
Oh, Queen, it's just a gargantuan band. Yeah, and they're massive here and everywhere indeed, and that's reflected in the worldwide performance at the box office. $635.9 million off of just $52 million of a production budget, with the controversy. I was about to screw up there, Stephen, I caught myself, with the controversy surrounding the director, whose name?
Brian Singer
eludes me at the moment, and Dexter Fletcher, I believe it was, it came on to replace him. That threatened to blow up and destroy this performance of this film, but it's done very well in spite of that, and I'm glad because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I certainly enjoyed it as well, John, and I think it's not going to do Queen's back catalogue any harm either. I think there's going to be a lot of reissuing over the next few years.
You've seen it with ABBA,
you've
seen it with ABBA, why not?
So we'll move on to number 6 this week. It's Nativity Rocks. It's hanging in there, John. It's in its third week now. It's cost another 300,000 over the weekend, grossing 1.9 million overall, that is. This is a film we've talked about over the last 3 weeks. I think if anyone catches up with this show, they'll realise that none of us are that interested. I've already been to 2 nativity shows anyway with my daughter. I think I've had up to the eyeballs with Nativity, but it's one of these films that, was it really worth investing in time and effort?
Well,
certainly
I think £1.9 million. That's decent.
Exactly.
So,
for such a niche,
I found
film,
it's kind of about school children as well. I don't know if I've literally whipped the children out of the schools to do this, or whether it's little fledgling actors and actresses. But I mean, it is what it is. They're trying to basically
just corner that.
Yeah, the Christmas market. They're coming into this Christmas period and they're trying to profit off of it, and they've done it to an extent. £1.9 million, you can't argue with that. I'm not going to go and see it. At the time again, Stephen, I don't have any kids, I don't go to nativity shows in general, and I'm certainly not going to go and watch a film not with the calibre of films out there.
Certainly if you're brought up in faith schools as well, you know the age-old story anyway, so
I was involved in it back in the day.
I was one of the kings, by the way. I had the gold, so that was quite important.
I can't remember what I watched, Steve. I was probably just one of the little gits at the background. Sheep. Really doing it. Yeah, mate, I mean sheep. Certainly wasn't Joseph.
But we'll swiftly move on to number 7 this week. This is The Old Man and the Gun. This first week, grossing 300,000 over the weekend, and obviously 300,000 overall. This is, of course, the film that you were chatting to me about a few days ago, John.
It's Robert Redford's final film before he retires. So.
Yeah, sad to see, but
sad.
Time has caught up with him. You can see, I don't want to deny the guy's looks or anything like that. He was a handsome man in his prime. Certainly you can see he's aging now, and it's sad to see, such an iconic actor. I think it's one of the things that we should have done back in the podcast days was a profile on him. Because he's got such a catalogue, and the man's just a legend, basically.
He's worked with Paul Newman, Stephen, obviously, in the likes of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the Sting. Two of my favourite actors from that period. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I've seen him in Brubaker as well, and even other films, like I think Indecent Proposal, he was in that. And he's obviously came back into prominence recently with the likes of Avengers and stuff like that. So, Civil War, I can't remember which one he was in. I know he played, I think it was Civil War, pretty sure it was Civil War.
It's a decent cast as well, John. Out with Robert Redford, Sissy Spacek, Casey Affleck, as you just said, Danny Glover, and Tom Waits is in there as well. So it's a whole host of stars in there.
John David Washington from Black K Klansman as well is in there.
And if anyone's not familiar with the story of this film, it's based on the true story of Forrest Tucker and his audacious escape from San Quentin at the age of 70 to an unprecedented string of heists that confounded authorities and enchanted the public. So it's very intriguing. Certainly one that I'll certainly be going along to see.
When I think of San Quentin, I just think of Johnny Cash, and then I think of Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry,
He gave me the directions to San Quentin, so that's what I think of. Give it a watch. I probably will go and watch this. Such as my love for Robert Redford, I probably will go out and watch it just to support that great man. But we'll move on, Stephen, to number 7, I believe it is. No, number 8.
Number 8.
Sorry to bother you. This is a new release over here. It's been out for a while in the United States, I believe, but it's opened to £300,000 over here. Now, this is one, Stephen, we actually discussed previously on a blog rundown episode because I believe it was DM Anderson reviewed it, and he done a fantastic review for that film. I strongly urge you to go onto our website and have a read of that. If you're maybe on the precipice of whether you want to go and see that film, read his review because he will get you out to see it. I haven't been to see it as of yet, but I will go and watch this film.
It only came out the 7th of December here. I think it was last month we talked about this on the blog rundown, John. And
it's a very interesting concept.
We were quite disappointed when we looked at the release date for this, but it is now out here in the UK now, so there's no excuses for not to go along and see this, certainly here in the UK. This is a film that certainly intrigues me. It's directed by Butch Riley and a whole host of stars in there as well, John. Yeah,
there is, the likes of Lakeith Stanfield. I'm very intrigued to go and see this film. I recall the review, I get a great enjoyment out of it. It was an intriguing concept. I think he says there was an interesting twist at the end. It was all about, I believe, Lakeith Stanfield's character going and joining this sort of a sales company. He rises up the ranks, then there's a strike, and then something weird happens. I can't remember the review exactly, but I do recall it caught my attention, and we were discussing it, and we says we'd definitely go and watch it, and I will go along and watch this film.
Coming in at 9 this week is Robin Hood. Its third week. It's grossed £100,000 over the weekend. Very disappointing.
It's a very disappointing film, though, isn't it?
2.6 million overall. I don't think this is getting legs on it to last another couple of weeks, John. Which is surprising. Back in the day, a Robin Hood release would have been a big thing over here, but I think over the last 20 years or so we've been sort of force-fed all these different iterations.
It's massively oversaturated.
We've got television series and everything. I don't know what it's like out with the UK, but certainly in this country we do get beaten over the head with the Robin Hood story. It's disappointing. It's got a great cast as well, John, but 100,000 over the weekend, it's very disappointing considering the cast, it's involved in that.
When Taron Egerton and Ben Mendelsohn and the likes of Jamie Foxx can't pull you out of a hole, you have an absolute lemon of a film. And it's apparently just a whole host of reasons for it being a lemon. The story doesn't make much sense, the pacing's all over the place, the characters are very 2D, the visuals are strange, they're washed out in kind of a muddy and bluey brown sort of tones. All in all, it's just meant to be a complete and utter disaster of a film. Every prominent reviewer and critique is bashing it. $73.4 million box office performance worldwide. It's got a $100 million production budget. It's flopped. It's just when it's going to drop out of the box office now, and I think it'll be next week.
I think that keyword there was lemon. I think that was the perfect description of this. Talking about lemons, John, a couple of weeks ago, we finished doing our blog our box office chat show, and I clicked my heels because this film is finally out of the top 10, but it's back with a bang. It's the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. It's back in there.
It is back in there.
In its 6th week at the box office, it's grossed another 100,000 over the weekend, grossing 5.4 million overall.
Yes.
Do we have to talk about this again?
We do, sadly, because it's in the top 10 of the box office, Stephen. But it's worldwide performance. It's finally broke over that $120 million production budget, sort of a limit.
Yeah.
It's $152.7 million now it's grossed worldwide. It's still not made a profit though, Stephen. You take into account the cuts from the theatres, promotion and stuff like that, and it's a flop.
Yeah.
It's Disney. They've grossed about $8 billion this year already, so they don't care. They've got the Mary Poppins Returns movie coming out in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
So they don't care. This is just going to be swept under the carpet. Much like Christopher Robin, which I enjoyed, some people didn't.
Yeah.
That kind of a flop too. Not to this extent, I don't think.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to go and watch it. It's not a story. The backstory, the guy that wrote this little short story it was adapted from, seems to be go over a bit with American audiences, but not so much over here.
No.
I certainly had never heard of it, and I've got no intentions of going to watch it. Now it's 5 weeks out and it's in and out, it's flip-flopping in and out of that top 10 of the box office. But that just brings us to the end of this week's episode of Box Office Chat. Thought you had something else to say there, Stephen.
No.
We'd just like to thank you for watching us once again. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you will, it would be much appreciated. And we'll be back tomorrow with movie burner news.